What's up, Facebook fam? This is your girl, Gail Crowder, and guess what? It is Tuesday. So you know what that means. It is Wife Chat Tuesday, and I'm so excited to be on here tonight. I'm going to be talking about our marriage. 3 keys to staying connected. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm super excited about tonight's chat. Go spread the word. Tell everybody Wife Chat is going down because it is Tuesday. And I'm so excited about the topic we're going to talk about, just staying connected in our marriages. And we have so many things going on that it's hard sometimes to stay connected to our spouses, stay connected to ourselves, let alone someone else. And so I just wanted to come on here, first of all, and tell each and every last one of you guys, thank you so much for all the love I received on Friday. Gail and I was married 30 years to the same exact person. He's my baby daddy. He's my love of my life. And I'm just so excited. And I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for all the love that you gave Gail and I on Facebook and on all my social media platforms. I'm truly grateful. I'm grateful that I can say that we are strong and solid. I couldn't always say that because we've been through a lot in the last 30 years. So I just want to say thank you so much for all your love and support. And for you guys that know me, know I'm an open book. I'm honest about my struggles, my mouth, my financial stuff, all the stuff. I put it out there because I believe that anytime that you're open and honest, that you can reach more people and let people know that you're not perfect, but you're on this journey. You've been on this journey for a long, we've been on this journey a long time. Gail and I got married when we was 10 and 12. No, I'm just playing. We was 20 and 21. And so I've been married most of my life. And so I am just grateful that God sustained our marriage. We were on the brink of divorce, I would say 9 years in. And but we put God in the center of our marriage. I went and got myself some counseling because it was definitely me. And so I'm just really excited to say that we made it to 30 years and we committed to make another 30 years until death do us part. We don't have a plan B. And so we don't have a perfect marriage, but we don't have a bad marriage either. And so I'm really excited about the second half of my life and the second half of what God is going to do in our marriage. And he's allowing me to touch the world with my story and with my shortcomings and helping you guys really focus in on your marriages and what, God has said concerning your marriage. And so tonight, I really just want to talk about our marriage, the 3 keys to staying connected, because in this day and age, we have so many different things to distract us. We have work, we have children, we have friends, we have social media, we have magazines, we have the video games. When I tell you there is so much stuff for us to be doing instead of sitting down having a conversation with our spouses, going on a walk, turning off social media, turning off our cell phones, turning off the games on the cell phones, turning off our children. Like, it's just so much stuff going on, right? That it's really hard to stay connected nowadays. And Gil and I used to be in that spot. And I get a chance to travel around the world and do what God has called me to do. And I don't take that for granted. So when I am home, I stay connected to my spouse. I make sure that I take the time. I make sure that I turn off the cell phone. I make sure that I'm not on social media, even though you guys think I'm on here all the time. I'm really not. I'm really not on here. I thank God for schedulers. I thank God for an amazing assistant. I thank God for so many different things. And I have not always been in that space to be able to afford that. And so I don't take that for granted. I don't take for granted the people that sow into what God has called me to do. But you have to find that space, and you have to find that time to be connected. And I'm not so blindsided that I think that everybody is in a marriage and in a space where you even want to communicate with your spouse, because I've been in that space too, where I was like, you stay in your corner, I'll stay in mine, and we just surviving right now because of these children or financial issues or whatever. So don't think that I think that everybody wants to really have conversations with your spouse. But I will tell you this, from after being married for 30 years, if you're not communicating, your marriage will fail. So you could tweet that or whatever. I will guarantee you, if you're not communicating, your marriage will fail, because communication is the key. It is the bond. It is the thread that will keep you together. If you learn to communicate effectively with your spouse, you can get through absolutely anything. Absolutely anything, right? And if you really look at it, if you have a strong communication with God, you should have a strong communication with your spouse. And a lot of people are like, Gail, what does that have to do with it? I will tell you this. Gail literally changed our marriage with his communication with God, because I was so off the chain. I was not listening. I was just a big mouth, just cutting up. He literally changed how I behaved with his communication with God. So I know it works. And when the table turned and then he got off the chain, I literally changed my marriage with my communication with God. So everything starts with a word. Say everything starts with a word, and your words have power. And so if you are in a situation where you're not communicating with your spouse and there's tension and there's just, it's like, I can't take this anymore, learn to communicate with God first, and learn to start saying positive things about your spouse, and sowing positive things into your marriage, and stop focusing on the negative and start focusing on the positive. And I guarantee you things will change. But I just want to give you my philosophy and some of the things I use, and some of three of the keys that I have learned over the 30 years, and also some of the things I imparted to some of my coaching couple clients. And I broke down the word our marriage, because I believe that when you get into the our moment and stop going with just using the word I think you could change things literally. So the first thing, the word O is for our. Use words that start with we, us, family, together. Start using those words instead of I, am, all of those things that separate you from your spouse. Use words that bring you guys together. We, us, family, together. All of those words bring unity to your family. Bring unity between you and your husband. Because when you start using words like I am, I want, I can, that brings separation. And when you guys got married, you became one flesh. I hope I'm not talking to myself. I know I'm not. So use words like together. Even if it looks like you guys are going on separate paths, stay focused. And when you talk about things, say, we need to do X, Y, and Z, or can we do X, Y, and Z? We need to X, Y, and Z, and not what you're going to do individually. Because whenever you're in a situation and you're dealing with your spouse, especially when there's tension, when you start separating yourself, they put up a defensive posture and start wanting to separate themselves from you as well. I hope that's making sense. The word you is for unity. You guys are on the same team. It is a team effort. Even when you look like you're playing ball by yourself, even when it looks like you're raising the kids by yourself, even when it looks like you're handling all the finances by yourself, even when if you feel like you're the only one working towards a goal, it is always always unity. And I know that's hard. Trust and believe me, I know that's hard. Because it's especially if you are in a situation where you guys are not communicating, you're not happy, if things are just not going right, and you're like at your wits' end, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. There is always hope. I believe that, because I'm a living witness. So always use you as unity, togetherness, oneness, one flesh, wholeness. And then the last one is R for reinforce. Reinforce the good in your spouse. Reinforce the good times that you have experienced together. Reinforce that you're committed to staying in your marriage. Reinforce that you are on the same team. Again, even if it doesn't feel like it, even if it doesn't look like it, everybody needs reinforcement that they're not out there by themselves. And sometimes you have to seek outside help in order to get that reinforcement. Sometimes you have to seek coaching and counseling to make sure that you are doing everything to solidify that unity. It's not always easy, and I get that. But again, and getting reinforcement, whether it's coaching or a counseling or you know, getting prayer or whatever, it's not anything wrong with that. And we need to stop thinking that if you seek help outside of your marriage, that there's something wrong with you, that you've lost your mind. No, you just want to make sure that you are keeping your covenant that you created in front of God. And but also, everybody needs some reinforcement. Everybody needs support. So if you are not being supported in your marriage, right? I believe in sowing for everything that I want. And so if I'm not feeling supported by Gail, I start sowing support towards him. Even if I don't think he deserves it, even if I don't think he needs it, I start sowing for what I want, because I believe that every seed that I plant is going to come back to me, right? So if you want more love, show more love. If you want more friends, show yourself friendly. If you want to smile back, learn to smile. If you want to your spouse to you know, learn to, you know, cook or whatever, start cooking together. Start sowing seeds that are memorable, that are lasting. Because sometimes it feels like, oh my God, like we're so disconnected. And I know if you've been married for any length of time, sometimes you can feel like you're so disconnected from your spouse. If you want to reconnect, if you really want to feel connected, you got to show yourself wanting to connect. And I understand that there are situations where you have been hurt, that you're closed off, there's no communication or anything like that. But I believe that if you use these three keys, the first one is use the words that connect you guys. We, us, together, team. Those kind of words, when you're speaking to your spouse, that builds unity, that builds oneness, that builds wholeness. Then U is for unity. If you win together, you celebrate together. If you lose together, you celebrate together. Because I believe that when Gail and I became one, even though I'm a strong woman, he's a strong man, he covers me in certain ways that I can't cover myself, and vice versa. So there's unity there. Has it always been? Is it always all the time? Absolutely not. I'm not going to lie and say that. But for 30 years, we have had something that held us together, and that was the Word of God. Now, have I always walked in that? Absolutely not. Gilbert rededicated his life way before I even thought about doing it. I used to show up for church once a month to let the church ladies know that I was married to Gil. That was it. But again, he used his word to get me back into what, you know, he wanted, which was a woman of God. as his wife, and he used his prayer time to strengthen our marriage and to turn me from what I was doing into the wife that he desired. And for me, I did that vice versa for the husband that I desired. And so wherever you are, just know that you guys rise and you fail together. And if you can get that mentality, it will always be unity in your marriage. And the last thing is reinforce. Reinforce the good things that are going on in your marriage. You have the ability to change anything that you want to change. You do. Because your words and your actions have power. I believe that with every fiber of my being. Your words have power. And your Father in heaven wants to see you win. And I want to see you win as well. Because I wouldn't be getting on here every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, getting on here to make sure that you're winning. And what you and your spouse decided to do is to say, I do. And I'm telling you, you can win. But you got to go to work. Marriage is work every single day. It's a job that you never get off of. But that's when you signed up, when you spent all your money or whatever, however you got married and said, I do. So really think about how you can reconnect with your spouse, or if you're already really connected with your spouse, how to make it better. My goal is to outdo Gail. My goal is to do whatever it takes to make our marriage strong. Not perfect, strong. Because we're two imperfect people on this journey together. And that right there is what's keeping us bonded. That's right there is what's keeping us striving every single day. Because I know he's committed to making me not happy, because that's not his job to make me happy. That's not his job. So if you're looking for your spouse to make you happy, that's an internal thing that you have to settle for yourself. Can he bring me joy? Can he do things that make me smile? Absolutely. He can. But internally, if I'm not happy with what Gail has to bring to the table, if I'm not happy with what's going on internally with me, he can buy me, he could tell me, he could do whatever. But until I settle that internally, he can never make me happy. And that's real talk. So if you're looking for your spouse to make you happy and to just be swinging from the ceilings every single day, that's not real life. You can go broke like that. Like if he just buy me something and make me happy, no, it won't. Because as soon as that newness of that wear off, if he ain't buying you something else, or if he ain't doing something else, or whatever, it's just going to be a rolling thing, and you're going to end up in debt, broke, and still unhappy because you ain't got no money. So my prayer is that you really think about how to stay connected with your spouse, because that's important, and it really starts with communication. And if communication has broke down, I admonish you to really think about and really reach out and figure out how you can reestablish that communication, because that's the key to a successful marriage. And so I want to see if anybody has any comments for me. No, you are absolutely right. Thank you. I'm just going to go down and see if anybody else, anything that is Yale's decision. Yes. Amen. Naomi, how are you guys? Hi, everybody. I thank you guys so much for hopping on. Evelyn, I am not listening, not by chance, but by God into it. Thank you so much for listening. Sow for what you want. Yes, glory. You have to sow for exactly what you want. I'm going through it, and I'm looking at you guys saying glory. And if you have any topics that you want me to tackle here on Wife Chat, I am so open to those things. I had a list of things, but I'm going through them really quickly. So you guys need to inbox me and tell me what you want me to discuss here on Wife Chat. Because if not, because I want to make sure that I'm meeting you guys' needs because when God told me to do Wife Chat, he told me to make sure that I'm an open book and that I make sure that I tell you guys the truth and that I discuss topics that you really want to hear. I hear you in Jesus' name. Okay. And so if anybody has any topics you want me to cover, just inbox me here on Facebook and just say, Gail, can you cover X, Y, and Z? And I'll be more than happy to do so. Also, if you are looking to talk with me more in depth, I do offer a free 30-minute discovery consultation. If you just visit my website, gailcrowder.com, scroll all the way to the bottom, click, and it will schedule your free 30-minute consultation. I don't try to sell you anything. I just try to help you come up with one solution to something that you have going on in your marriage. And again, I am so blessed that you guys have allowed me in your personal space. I thank you so much for sharing Wife Chat, because you guys have been doing an amazing job sharing that. I have some amazing things coming up in the next couple of months that I'll be telling you guys about. But visit the website often. And I want to say good night. And I want to say I love you guys to pieces. And thank you so much for allowing me in your personal space. And thank you so much for joining me here tonight on Wife Chat. I love you guys to pieces. Have a great night.